Okay, well, we're going to do this video today. It's going to deal with, I guess, stranded on the side of the road during bad weather, winter weather. Some people I know, people I work with and stuff, we've been talking about different things. I gave them some ideas. A lot of you know me, my background's military, law enforcement, and a big part of it's hunting. So I spend a lot of time out in the weather, or have and still do. And some of the co-workers, we got to talking about sliding off the road or being stranded, and basically one thing led to another, and they's like, well, why don't you do a video or something where we can, have more ideas of that. So that's what this is. Me, when I lived in Kentucky, I drove an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes to and from work. Here in the Midwest, we've had this year, we've had pretty good amounts of snow. We've had ice and snow. So we've had some pretty wild weather. We've had Arctic blasts where it actually got down to 0 or even in the minuses and that. So that's why we're going to talk about different things. Now, worst case scenario, you slide off the road. You're on maybe a bandit or on a road that's not traveled a lot, or you down a big embankment. So you could be there for a while. Other thing is, you slide off or you wreck and your car won't start. So there you're stuck with deciding what to do. First thing you want to do is you want to keep warm. Now, several things. In my car, my son's truck, and that we carry, a lot of times it's just in there because of our lifestyle hunting, but I do make sure in my car that I drive back and forth to work come winter that I have certain items in there in case that does happen. Now, I throw an extra hoodie in there. I've got a pair of bib overalls. I've got another jacket. I've actually got a warm wool mask. I've got heavier gloves and that in case I am going to be there for a while. But I'm going to go through some things that really are not that hard. Now, like I said, you could pack extra clothes. Hoodies, extra gloves, extra jackets, even a pair of sweatpants that you can put on either over your pants or take your pants off and put them on, whatever. You want to layer your clothes. One thing you can do, if it's real cold weather or even cold weather and you think you're going to be there for a while, is go to Walmart and get you a sleeping bag. Now this here one is a fleece line. It's designed for fall, early winter, Walmart carries sleeping bags. I haven't really looked at them, but if you can get you a sleeping bag, say you go off, you're going to be there for a while, get this sleeping bag out, get in it and zip it up. What you're going to do is you're going to trap your body heat, and that's going to help keep you warm. If you've got a mask or something, you want to put something over your ears, if it's real cold, you want to try to get as much of your skin covered up as you can. But a sleeping bag is going to be great for keeping you warm and comfortable. Another thing you can do is a heat source. Let's say, like I said, just say the car won't work, or you can't get it started. I'm sorry. Take a soup can. After you empty all the soup out of it, cut the top fully off of it, wash it out. Take a candle. Now, I use the tea candles, but you can take a candle like this, probably break it in two. You just want to make it to where it sticks down in there a little bit. But by lighting that candle and putting it in that can, you'll be surprised how much heat that little candle will put off. The reason I say put it in a can, that's way you don't have to worry about wax getting all over the place, maybe doing something to the carpet of your car or starting a fire. Now, if you do use a candle, one of the things you are going to remember, you're going to have to crack a window. You're going to have to put a light crack in the window to help get the gases out of there, carbon monoxide and that. So if your car's one of those that if it won't crank, the windows won't go down, that might be a problem. That's why I keep a sleeping bag and extra clothes in the car. It's just in case that does happen. But this is something to think about. A friend of mine brought up using Sterno. I don't really know. I've never used Sterno in a car. I have used the little Sterno cans in hunting blinds to stay warm. Of course, the windows are open and that, so the gases get out. But I guess it could be an option. Another thing, where we work at, we all wear steel-toed boots. Now, if you're in one of these situations where you're going to have to walk, and depending on how cold it is, a lot of times, and people don't think about this, we all wear steel-toed boots. The toes in those boots, that steel is going to get cold. First, your feet are going to get cold. Your feet are probably sweat from where we worked all night. So you might want to look at an alternative footwear. Now, one of the things I carry with me is I carry a set of rubber boots. These are just a pair that I hunt in. And like I said, I just throw these in the floorboard of the car. And then I also carry in my car, I carry a heavier pair of wool socks, smart wool socks. Reason is like I said earlier, we've been in our boots all night, our feet are going to sweat and stuff. So if I do have to walk, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the socks off I got on, put on a fresh pair of socks, put those boots on, and my feet are going to stay pretty comfortable. Now you can take two. If you don't want to get the full rubber boots, the little mud galoshes, those would work well. Like I said, carrying an extra pair of socks, even if you could get those felt liners that go down in rubber boots, those will keep your feet warm. Another thing is cell phones. I mean, we all got them. I mean, and you're going to be on them. Now, here's the thing about it is I've talked to a couple people that have talked about things before, and they don't think about it, is keeping the phone charged, keeping a charger on there. I mean, if you live in a rural area and you go off the road, it could be a while before they get to you. If you're on a major interstate and they have lots of slide-offs and wrecks in that, basically they're going to start at one end of that interstate and work their way towards you, and it could take them a while to get there. So before you leave home, before you leave work, wouldn't be a bad idea if you got the opportunity to charge your phone up, have it fully charged. I know what you're thinking, well, if I'm in my car, I can plug it in the charger of the car. Well, that's true. But here's something to think about. And you're in the car, you're going down the road, your phone's over there in the console, you slide off, the phone goes flying. Probably it's going to stay connected, but there's a good possibility it won't. If you're in a wreck and the phone's in the floorboards, you might not be able to get to it. What I do, is I plug my phone up, let it charge, and then I put it in my pocket. That way, if I am in a wreck and stuff, I can at least get to my phone. Let's say you don't have a place, let's say you're at work and you can't charge your phone. These little power sticks is what I call them. These are a great thing to carry. You can charge these up at home and they will stay charged for, I don't know how long. I know I've had one stay charged for, I think 4 months, and then I plugged it in, charged my phone up, and you charge them up just periodically. When your phone runs all the way dead, plug it up, and then charge this back up just to keep it going. I carry one of these in my lunch bucket, and then I've also got one in my bag in my car. I got a lot of them from when I used to do TV shows, because this is what we use to charge up different things and stuff like that. But these little things are great to have to use for that. And stuff. Now, a couple other things you want to think about is, and I don't know what I did with it, is you want to think about a first aid kit. Carry you a small first aid kit. Just some bandages, little things like that in case you are injured while you're sitting there in your car. You can take care of yourself. Another thing, a flashlight. Don't have to be nothing real big or fancy. Carry you a flashlight. Make sure you got fresh batteries in it. I suggest, if you're going to do this and you're going to put a bag together, try to put it together, September or October. Think about your travel and how you're going to do, but put a flashlight in there. That way, if you are in the car, you can't get out, your windows are clear enough, you might be able to, flash it and stuff to get somebody's attention. If you're on the side of the road, you need help, you can't get the windows down, stuff like that. Plus, it's going to help you look around the car. Like I said, if your car don't start, everything's going to be dark, so a little bit of light's going to help you. Just really quickly to backtrack, if you are going to carry a candle, you're going to have to carry matches. Somebody I know put a candle in their car. One time we was talking and they was showing me their stuff and that, and I just happened to notice they didn't have matches. I carry one of the little, it's a long thing, don't have it down here with me, but I carry one of the little grill lighters and stuff, and I just carry it because it's got more fuel. I can reach down in that soup can and light that candle easier and stuff like that. Last, we'll talk about food. You want to stay warm. The big thing is you want to stay hydrated. So either put some bottles of water, a couple bottles of water in your bag, and stuff like that. If you leave the bottles of water in your car, and your car's on a tender not run for a while, kind of depending on how cold, this could freeze up. So if you're at work and you got a water bottle, fill it up, or take it in with you. But carry you some water. Stay hydrated. Couple of co-workers have talked to me about food. One of the things I carry is jerky. I'll eat it. A lot of people that know me in that. Protein bars. I'm not big on a lot of the bars that have the sugar and stuff like that because, yeah, it'll spike your energy, but then it's going to drop it. But these protein bars, I picked these up at Walmart, and I pick them up there just because they're handy. Tuna packets. Just something to nibble on, especially if you're going to be there. It's nothing worse than being miserable when you're stranded, you're cold, and you're hungry. Well, if you're warm and you got your belly full, your body's going to not want to shut down as much and stuff. You ain't going to have those cravings, and, you get hungry enough, you're really going to start wondering about things. So, tuna packets, this. Now, one of the things I make and then eat is bagels. We do this a lot when we hunt. These things will fill you up, especially if you're going to be stranded. If you think you're going to be stranded for a long time. But I take a bagel, I open it up, I put some honey on it, and then, or not honey, I'm sorry, I take some peanut butter, spread peanut butter on one side, and then I take honey and I drizzle all around it, put it together, put it in a Ziploc bag, and I put it in my bag. You can take and put them in the freeze-dried bags, and seal the sealer bags, seal them down. Now they are going to look kind of weird when you do that, but you can keep those. Those will last. I've actually sealed a couple of those and kept them in there for like a month, and they have not, molded or anything like that because you've got all the air out of them. So that's something, if you want to put in your bag, to do that. A lot of times what I do is I carry, I carry in mine, I carry protein bars, carry some tuna packets. I've got some like trail mix that I make up. I carry things that I keep in there consistently that I know is not going to spoil. But then when I know weather's coming, like I said, I might make up some bagels. If you don't like bagels, these work great with soft shell tortillas. Tortillas you can take and put the peanut butter in there, spread it out, put the honey, roll them up, put them in a Ziploc bag. You're going to do the same thing. Like I said, I do the bagels because of where we hunt. I can eat, a lot of times it's, with something quick as we get up, we want to get in the woods. I can make one of these up. Usually I pre-make them. They got like 800 some calories in them. You can eat one for breakfast and get you through the day. So that's about all I can think about right now. Flashlight, phone. There's probably something I'm not thinking about, but this is just a general idea of things I do. I'm not saying I'm no expert. This is just stuff I've came through in my background of being in the military and law enforcement and hunting. Different situations I have never really. There's been a couple times I've been in, little slide offs and stuff like that, but it was nothing where I was there for a long time, but I was prepared for it. And that's the thing you need to do is you've got to think about where you're traveling. Now, if you're in a metro city or in a city and you're not going to be out, hey, no big deal. You slide off, you go, if there's businesses open, you can go in there and stay warm and that. But if you're like me and the people I work with, we travel a lot through rural areas. We travel interstates that there is pretty good stretches where there is no businesses open or there's just no businesses there where you're going to be able to go. So, like I said, my suggestion is if you're going to put one of these together, you get you a bag, you know what food you like, you want to get stuff that's not going to spoil and stay. For warmth, a sleeping bag, no, you're not going to be able to walk down the road in it. But, if you got you a couple of hoodies on, you've got proper footwear, you could always take the sleeping bag, unzip it, and wrap it around you while you walk. A beanie, a face mask. It just, it counts on how cold it's going to be. When you colder the weather, the more you're going to want. So, the only reason I know the sleeping bag works so well is, I've been on some hunts where basically the storms and that kept us in, and when you're sleeping in tents or sleeping in your truck, you don't want to get out of that thing. You'll stay in it. So these are just some ideas. I know some of the co-workers and other people have talked about things for the house and that. Might try to do a video on that in a couple of weeks. I don't know. I'm still busy trying to get everything here in the new house situated, and I still got stuff from Kentucky I'm bringing down. But hey, until next time, enjoy.